Hey guys, so today we are going to talk about the top 5 suburbs of Houston. So remember, Houston is the fourth largest city in the United States. What that means is that Houston covers over 600 square miles, has over 604 schools, and a population of approximately 7 million people. So how did we figure out these top 5 suburbs? It's from actually niche.com. And the categories that they chose to list out these top 5 suburbs include employment, commute times, amenities, diversity, and crime rates. So let's get started. Guys, so we're going to start off with number 5, the 5th most popular or best suburb to live in Houston, Texas. It's Spring Valley. So Spring Valley is a small suburb, approximately 4,300 people in population. It's right off of I-10, a great location because literally is off of I-10. So you can get anywhere, and when I say anywhere, employment-wise, within 20 to 25 minutes. So whether that's downtown, the Galleria, or the Energy Corridor. I would say a lot of people have great opportunities to work in the Energy Corridor. Some of those big companies that are out there include Shell, Dow, Foster Wheeler, and Gulf States Toyota. So quick 20, 25 minutes commute to any of those 3 locations for work. Also, the notable public schools in the area, some of the better ones to name are Memorial High School, Valley Oaks Elementary School, and Hunters Creek Elementary. So as for food, which is always very important to me, Spring Valley, being such a smaller suburb, doesn't have too many, but the neighboring suburb or area in Spring Branch has a lot of restaurants, Korean restaurants specifically. That's our K-town of Houston. So you can find and discover a lot of Korean great restaurants in Spring Branch, which is right next to Spring Valley. So that is number 5, top suburb in Houston with Spring Valley. Okay, guys, so now we have number 4, top suburb in Houston is going to be Sugar Land. This is actually a near and dear suburb to me because that's where I grew up. My parents actually still live in the neighborhood. So I'm more familiar, my old stomping grounds. So number 4, Sugar Land has about 118,000 people in population, so slightly larger than Spring Valley, coming in at number 5. Commute wise to Sugar Land, so Sugar Land is southwest of Houston proper, I would say, about 35 minutes to downtown, about 25 minutes to the Galleria, and 25 minutes to the Energy Corridor, but plenty of employment opportunities within Sugar Land itself. Floor Daniel is down there. Minute Maid is actually down there as well. We have the sugar factory, hence the name Sugar Land, is also down there. Schlumberger has an office down there as well. So lots of employment opportunities down there, including a lot of hospital. Methodist is down there, Memorial Hermann as well. Some notable schools in the area would be Clements High School, Dulles High School, that's my alma mater, a Walker Station Elementary School, and things to do in the area, excuse me. We do have a Sugar Land Town Center, which includes First Colony Mall, lots of eating and shopping to do in that area. And it's actually the home of the Skeeters, who is the minor league baseball team in Sugar Land, nearby to the sugar factory as well. So that is some details on number 4, the top suburb in Houston, Sugar Land. Number 3, on the top suburb of Houston, we have Nassau Bay. Now, cut. Okay. All right, guys. So number 3 in the top suburb of Houston, we have Nassau Bay. Nassau Bay is only about 4,000 people in population, but it is in the vicinity of Clear Lake area, which is very near Galveston Bay as well. And so within Nassau Bay actually has our Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center, which is huge for the city of Houston. And that is, the intersection of Nassau Bay is right there across from the Space Center. So that's just pretty much a given of a lot of the aeronautics, and that would be a lot of the employment opportunities there. Commute wise to Houston proper, it's about 40 minutes to downtown, and to the other areas, about 45 minutes to the Galleria and 45 minutes to the Energy Corridor. A couple of the key notable notable schools in the area to speak about are Clear Lake High School, Falcon Pass Elementary, and the Lloyd R. Ferguson Elementary as well. In the area to eat, I would suggest going to Galveston and getting a lot of fresh seafood and enjoying a lot of the cuisine down there, and fun things to do. Obviously, you're right next to Galveston as well, and so make a weekend out of it. So that is number 3 with Nassau Bay. Okay, so now coming in at number 2 is Cinco Ranch. Cinco Ranch is a suburb of Houston, consisting of about 16,500 individuals. It is a part of Katy as well. So what you have, it's like Cinco Ranch, and then the larger part is Katy, and then of course Houston. So that's kind of how it dials down. So Cinco Ranch itself, commute-wise, would be about 30 minutes to downtown, about 30 minutes to the Galleria, and only 15 minutes to the Energy Corridor. So Cinco Ranch is on the west side of town. And so with that being said, some of the employment opportunities, like I'd mentioned before in the Energy Corridor, would include Shell and Dow Chemical, definitely both nearby. And some notable schools in the area are Cinco Ranch High School, Seven Lakes High School, and things to do in the area. I would suggest going to the nearby Katy Asia Town. It's lots and lots of new restaurants to discover and try. You can definitely keep yourself busy there for lunch and dinners for weeks and months even to come. So that is number 2 with Cinco Ranch. So now we have made it to the number 1 suburb of Houston, and that is the Woodlands. So the Woodlands has made it to the top of this list of the best Houston suburbs because of its great community, amenities, good schools, and high quality of life. Woodlands consists of about 114,000 people. Commute-wise, it's a little farther out, but not too far, about 40 to 45 minutes to downtown Galleria and Energy Corridor, a little bit longer if you're trying to get to the Med Center. So Woodlands is going to be on the north side of town, 45 north to be exact, basically on your way up to Dallas. With that being said, the Woodlands is huge, and a lot of our oil and gas companies and campuses have moved up there, including Chevron, Baker Hughes, and ExxonMobil. So a lot of people that work for those companies have relocated to that area. Surprisingly enough, though, actually every day, let me see here, the commute, they have about 60,000 workers commuting to the area daily. So not only are, people in the Woodlands traveling to Houston proper to downtown or, whereabout there to work, but 60,000 people are traveling to the Woodlands because of those newer campuses that are in the area. Some notable high schools within the Woodlands would include Buckaloo Elementary, Bush Elementary, and the Woodlands High School. And so many things to do up there, with their lush outdoor space, 7,500 acres of green space, which includes 130 parks and 1,700 acre nature preserve. Also, they do have a Woodlands Town Center, and not to forget the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, which is where a lot of our concerts are held. So number 1 suburb in Houston is the Woodlands. Thank you guys so much for listening to the top 5 suburbs in Houston. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.